We welcome you to Naples, where a pair of expansion squads in polar opposite veins of form lock horns in a fixture with major potential postseason implications. It's FC Naples hosting AV Alta, and tonight's match is presented by Physicians Regional Healthcare System, care for every goal. We say hello and welcome from Paradise Coast Sports Complex. I'm Sam Goldfarb, and when you look at the table presented by Waste Management, it tells the full story. An FC Naples squad that can clinch a playoff berth with 3 points here tonight. Meanwhile, AV Alta encountering struggles at the minute. They are now a point south of the top 8. They need a victory to get back in those playoff places here. For AV Alta, massive struggles of late, winless in their last 11 matches and managing just 6 points over the course of that span. And Brian Clavin saying there's issues on both ends of the pitch. He laments what he calls juvenile mistakes at the back, recently costing them results. And going forward as well, maybe not as devastating as they were when they caught fire in the late spring and early summer. All in all, they are desperate to snap this stretch, but Brian Clavin says he feels his side has competed well in training and is in line to do just that here this evening. And when you compare these two recent stretches for AV Alta during the course of that 9-match unbeaten run in the late spring and early summer, the numbers look great. 2 goals a game, allowing less than a goal a game, but in the 11 matches since, while the possession has gone up, that has not yielded production, and defensively getting caught out on counters, conceding about 2 goals a contest in those last 11 games. On the other end of things, fortune has favored Naples, a side that was in the midst of a 10-match unbeaten run prior to last week. Their last defeat prior to that was the first AV Alta fixture. They are one of the most complete teams in the league, built on their solid back line, but able to win it back upfield in the counter press and counter very rapidly, also devastating on set pieces. But last week, as we mentioned, the defeat against Portland Hearts of Pine, conceding a penalty after this handball, and then Ollie Wright stepping up from the spot and delivering to doom Naples to their first loss since late June. It is a Naples side that undergoes a bit of change at the back. Jake Dengler on a red card suspension, so our player to watch, presented by Parker Hudson Homes, is his replacement, Gustavo Fernandez. Over 100 USL League One appearances in his locker, someone who's won the league with North Carolina FC, but few starts. This is a rare appearance in the 11 for him this evening. Well, we are just about set for kickoff in the third and final meeting of the year between FC Naples and AV Alta. 3 points up for grabs that both teams want in the playoff stages of the final stretch of the season. Stick with us, lineups and kickoff next.
Hey, same shirt.
Is it?
Well, yours is new, obviously.
It only looks new. That's because he takes it to Tide Cleaners, where we keep clothes looking newer 50% longer. At Tide Cleaners, we care about your clothes as much as you do.
How's it look?
Newer 50% longer.
Awesome.
Hey, same order.
Head to my.tidecleaners.com to get started.
Luxury isn't just about where you live, it's about how you live. At Parker Hudson Homes, we craft bespoke residences where elegance meets effortless comfort. From custom builds to refined remodels, every detail is designed around you, your style, your vision, your way of living. Create a home that's truly yours and discover Parker Hudson Homes today.
Here on Florida's Paradise Coast, you can play your way. Whether you prefer an action-packed court, a leisurely round of golf, or the thrill of watching a professional soccer match, your only challenge is finding a way to do it all. So visit a luxurious playground that scores big for everything from its award-winning beaches to its incredible restaurants. Because when you want a vacation where all is perfect, only Paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades.
This match is presented by Physicians Regional Healthcare System, care for every goal. And we welcome you back to Naples, where we are just about set for kickoff in the third and final meeting between FC Naples and AV Alta. A major 3 points up for grabs as we jump into our starting lineups, brought to you by the law offices of Mark L. Shapiro, big enough to handle serious cases, small enough to care. And you look at FC Naples, just the one change. Fernandez is in for Dangler, who picked up a second yellow card last week against Portland. Other than that, the same 11 that they trotted out in that matchup against Hearts of Pine. On the opposite end of things for Brian Claben's side, their lineup also presented by the law offices of Mark L. Shapiro. 3 changes from their 3-0 defeat last Saturday against South Georgia Tormenta. Alexis Cerritos leads the line once again up front. Jerry Desdoon, meanwhile, moves into the midfield trio, usually someone who is deployed up top. We are just about set to get things going from Paradise Coast Sports Complex. FC Naples in a strong vein of form despite the defeat last weekend. And again, the stakes apparent. 3 points allows them to clinch a playoff berth. On the other end, AV Alta just desperate to climb back into that top 8. A side that has plummeted from as high as second in the table in the early stages of July all the way down to 9th. Just looking to reestablish themselves inside the coveted playoff spots. Matt Poland overseeing things for Naples. He has done a fantastic job, a bona fide Coach of the Year contender in USL League One. One thing he has not done, though, is oversee a victory over AV Alta. We'll see if Naples can do that here this evening. It is Naples in the classic navy blue kits with the accents and the white numbers. Going from left to right on your screen, AV Alta in the road away strip with the maroon numbers from right to left. And we are underway from Paradise Coast Sports Complex. It's a big one for differing reasons for both clubs. Naples has its eyes on the postseason and a potential top 4 home playoff match situation. AV Alta just trying to climb back into the spots in the top 8. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action. It is the fun part of the season in USL League One. It's time for squads to separate themselves from the rest of the pack. Well, it's time for our injury report presented by the law offices of Mark L. Shapiro. Big enough to handle serious cases, small enough to care. Nothing officially reported for Naples. Jaden Onan back in the squad once again. Did suffer a bit of an injury last month. Meanwhile, 2 out for AV Alta. Hearing word as well that we will not see Adam Almesh tonight. So 2 long-term absences and then the brief injury concern for Almesh as well. This is Torres for Naples. Chips it towards O'Connor. Comes loose. Pajaro looking to play at a danger. The numbers, we showed you them off the top. Jaw-dropping for AV Alta, but especially in their last 3 matches. Outscored by a scoreline of 8-4. 8 goals allowed, of course, shut out against Tormenta last week in a match that Brian Claben said he felt was frustrating. Felt his side had a good grasp on things. Glasser's cross comes in. Still loose. Penderlong wrestling for it. Finally stabbed away. As far as Glasser, though. Now Farine has a hit. Right into the thicket of white shirts, though. Jaden Onan. Boy, are they glad to have him back. So dynamic, especially on the break. Farine hooks it towards the far side, and Cisneros giving chase. It's an Naples squad that has been rolling. Penderlong, O'Connor. A side that had not lost in 10 league fixtures prior to Sunday's defeat against Portland Hearts of Pine, falling in 1-0 fashion. And talking to Matt Poland about that match, said he was a little frustrated by it. His side created about 3 key chances he felt that on a different day they'd bury. Overall, he mentioned, though, that against a side like Portland, which was happy to cede possession in Naples, which isn't really Naples' game, knocking it about, they need to be versatile enough to overcome that. Not every team's going to allow you to counter or play a style that's conducive to that. So you have to balance directness with patience as well as ball retention. Against AV Alta this week, that will be a point of focus, especially considering AV Alta's prowess with the ball. They're a squad that is known for pinning teams in their own half and slowly picking them apart. It's now time for our keys to the game, presented by Florida's Paradise Coast. Matt Pullen saying being lethal in the big moments is massive for this fixture. Meanwhile, Brian Claben has talked about attacking space quicker this week. This is obviously an AV Alta side that knocks it about methodically. They pull teams out of position, but he says there are times when we pull a player into an unfortunate spot where we haven't capitalized. So you'll see our style, but we want the added wrinkle of being a bit more direct when we exploit spaces. Destoon snatches this back. Back for Alassane. This is Osvaldo Ley, not shy about uncorking, and right at Lalo Delgado. In the form he's in, it will take much better to beat him from that range. Someone who's very experienced in USL League One, making a name for himself over the past 2 years with Northern Colorado Hailstorm. And he's carried that strong set of performances over to Naples, where he's not just their lead man between the sticks, playing almost every minute in league play. He's also their captain. Green is bundled over by the 19-year-old Ramos. An early set piece for Naples. You see here, loose giveaway. The ball actually comes off of Ramos's hand as well, so if not the foul for the contact, whistle blows for the contact on the hand. That replay was brought to you by Physicians Regional Healthcare System, Care for Every Goal. And this is the first major set piece of the night thus far for Naples. Gustavo, Chris Heckenberg and Kevin O'Connor standing over it. Heckenberg curling it towards the back stick. Now O'Connor ran out of real estate on the near side. Just out for a goal kick.
Goal kick, AV Alta.
Delgado's counterpart tonight is Carlos Aviles, another experienced presence in USL League One. He's best known for his time with Chattanooga Red Wolves, led Chattanooga to a USL League One final in 2022. As the key starter late on in the season, he's also featured for Central Valley Fuego in the interim before joining AV Alta. Brian Claben mentioned the word meritocracy to me on a number of occasions when we spoke to him this week. And that applies to his goalkeepers as well, because Trinidad and Tobago's current #1 Denzel Smith is also on the roster. So those two have been trading starts over the past 2 months or so. Smith has never been able to get a proper run in the 11 just due to the fact that he's been on international duty so frequently since the start of June. Aviles back in the lineup after serving as Smith's understudy a week ago in the defeat against Tormenta. This is Ramos, exciting academy product from AV Alta. Cerritos coming very deep to claim. Sprayed wide. Now Ramos. Cerritos. Well, the interesting wrinkle with AV Alta tonight and recently in general is Emmanuel Alaribe, more of a super sub of late. They've played a false 9 setup as Pajaro commits the transgression. The likes of Desdune and Cerritos playing as a listed number 9, but dropping much deeper, also popping wide. Brian Klaben mentioning that that gives them a lot of 2-on-1s and overloads on whatever flank they choose to attack. It's all part of their tactical setup, possession-oriented style inspired by Marcelo Bielsa and the early 2000s Argentine national team. It is a style that has followed Brian Klaben wherever he's gone, be it as a manager in the youth ranks of LA Galaxy and other prominent academy systems throughout California, or now in his first professional head coaching gig at AV Alta. Farine. For those just joining us, we welcome you into Paradise Coast Sports Complex. Sam Goldfarb taking you every step of the way through an final clash between FC Naples and AV Alta FC. One side comfortably in the top 8, the other on the outside looking in as this cross comes in, and O'Connor heads it directly to Aviles. Spoke about the stakes off the top, but if Naples wins, they clinch a playoff berth for the first time in their rather brief history. FC Naples can get there, but they'll need to defeat AV Alta for the first time ever. AV Alta, a side that was 1 second in the league table, now sits 9th after a prolonged rough patch. Cisneros is fouled on the far side, and a yellow card brandished early.
A yellow card has been issued.
Get another look here. Kaloyan Pelivanov tracking over late.
Number 5,
First man in the book for either side.
Mamadou Alassane. This yellow card brought to you by the
That yellow card presented by the exclusive personal injury attorneys for FC Naples, the law offices of Mark L. Shapiro. Gave it to Kaloyan Pelivanov, and this is a decent spot for a free kick for Naples. Known for wreaking havoc off of scenarios like these, but without arguably their best set-piece attacker in Jake Dengler, who's suspended after being sent off in the final 10 minutes last week against Portland. It's Chris Hackenberg, the lone man over it. Finally, we get the referee signal. Marking in, doesn't clear the first line of defense. We have yet to truly see AV Alta impose their style on things. Naples more than holding their own from a possession standpoint. And at home, you'd expect them to at least throw caution to the wind a touch more. So given the playing surface, which isn't exactly kind to pass-heavy squads like AV Alta, definitely plays into the host's hands here tonight. A late challenge from Cisneros draws our referee's ire. Crew led by Alexander Zilaskov.
A big shout out to Estero Fire for Estero FC for joining us tonight, and Estero FC walking out with our players. Best of luck to Estero FC this season.
What is interesting tonight in AV Alta's setup, beyond the false 9 usage once again, Lalo Blancas, after missing last week on the bench, had a bit of a knock in the defeat against Tormenta. You can expect to see him as this wears on. Top scorer with 9 goals and one of the best direct free kick threats in the entirety of the league. In fact, leads the league in goals from direct free kicks entering tonight. FC Naples knows a little something about matching up with Lalo Blancas. Scored a hat trick the first time these two teams met in what was Naples' most recent defeat prior to the weekend. Cruz. And this is Mabumu Alassane. Approaching the opening quarter of an hour mark and starting to see AV Alta gain a foothold. Mariona. Pajaro, the captain. It's a system built on every player being able to knock it about and spray it wide. Have two very quality ball-playing center backs in Miguel Pajaro and Kaloyan Pelivanov. And back to full strength with Pelivanov back in the 11 after a prolonged spell outside it with minor injury concerns. This is Jaden Onan floating this forward towards Kevin O'Connor. Ramos is there first to clear away. And there's that directness from Naples. If you switch off, they can catch you in a blink, and it's quality recovery speed from a listed fullback. Cisneros switching the play wide. This is Farine. Cisneros looking for an angle to shoot. And he commits the foul in the process. Well, fans, the USL and the CBS Sports Network closes out September with a championship Western Conference showdown of teams in the thick of the playoff hunt. New Mexico United take on Lexington SC in a battle for valuable points on Sunday, September 28th at 6 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. It is a fun time of year throughout the USL pyramid into the final month of the season when you look at the calendar. Judgment Day on October 25th. Many teams with 5, some even with 4 matches left on their docket. Both these teams after tonight with only 4 games remaining. FC Naples not back home until the late stages of October. So while some may look at their current positioning in the table and say, well, hey, they're top 4, they only need 3 points to clinch a playoff berth. It's not imperative they win tonight. They drop points and then have to head away from home for the better part of the next 3 weeks. It certainly throws a wrinkle in things that I'm sure Matt Poland would not like to encounter. So we have our first corner of the night for AV Alta. Jerry Desdoon to take it. Comes in within swing. Cleared away, only as far as Ortiz, who puts his laces through this and no trouble for Delgado. Well, there's Brian Claben, first-year head man of AV Alta FC, tasked with building this project from the ground up. And he's mentioned to me how much emphasis there is on youth development as well in this club. Someone with a background in the youth sphere in Southern California, be it at LAFC, LA Galaxy as well, or even Chivas USA back in the day. And so he's emphasized, in addition to building a pro team that can compete and achieve trophies at that level, this is also a club that is seen as a platform for developing future talents, not just for the AV Alta first team, but for the higher levels of USL and beyond. Someone who's very passionate about churning players out and making them as impactful as they can be in the States and abroad. Spoke with me at length about Steven Ramos, and he said that Steven Ramos is the prime example of what they've been able to do here thus far. Someone who he coached at LAFC SoCal Youth and then brought him in and said, showed up to a preseason first team training session. They played a scrimmage against a club in the area, and without knowing any players' names on the team and any players knowing him, he showed up and was man of the match as a teenager. And it just speaks to what they've already been able to accomplish from that perspective at AV Alta FC. We inch towards the 20-minute mark. Still nothing to separate FC Naples and AV Alta. Third and final meeting of the year. AV Alta claiming 4 points from an available 6 in the first two. Both played in Lancaster, thrashing Naples 4-1 in late June before a 1-1 draw that featured a heroic late wonder strike from Julius Cisneros in mid-July. Fortunes have changed for both these clubs since that second meeting. There's some lovely link up. Working to the back stick and rolls all the way through to Ramos. Lay towards Cerritos, still loose. Desdoon! And somehow it seems it's kept out. Well, how about this? Desdoon had the goal at his mercy, and somehow Naples has kept the scoreline level. Let's get another look at the replay. Cerritos has issues fielding this. It's a good save from Delgado, and then somehow cleared off the line. Julian Cisneros making himself an obstacle, and what a bit of defending that is. Naples has dodged the first major blow. A double save. Delgado denying the first chance from Cerritos, and then Cisneros on the line, clearing it with Desdoon seeing the goal at his mercy. What can Naples conjure the other direction? Farine can't catch up to this. Fans, tune in to CBS Sports Golazo Network on October 4th for the Jägermeister Cup final. From 38 clubs down to 2. Group 1 winner Sacramento Republic FC take on wildcard Hartford Athletic at 10 p.m. Eastern for their shot at glory. All on Golazo, October 4th. Well, if you're just joining us, fun one brewing here. AV Alta moments ago nearly opening the scoring. Now Naples the other way. O'Connor. This is Farine. Early cross. Falls kindly. Torres puts his boot through it, but it was never dipping. This is Naples at their very best. Going direct. Farine providing that width. Cross isn't truly cut out, and it falls so nicely for Torres. Just gets underneath it a little much, but these are the moments where Naples is at their most threatening, winning it back on the counter press, or when they can spray it wide and cause danger with their wing presences. They've won it back again. Farine, heavy touch from O'Connor. Cruz is fouled. Early involvements for Mark Torres, the Loyola Chicago product. This maybe not as appetizing to Naples supporters as the chance was moments ago. Native of Barcelona, Spain, who was a multi-time first-team all-conference selection during his time with the Ramblers of Loyola Chicago. Signed his first pro contract with the club in early January. So far, Henderlong is left isolated. AV Alta's done a great job marshalling him. Here's Cerritos dropping deep again. Bundled over by Farine. This would be well within Lalo Blanca's territory had he been on the pitch. You see the flick on from Desdune. Cerritos does well to untangle himself from Gustavo Fernandez, who's still down. And ultimately, the Farina intervention is what draws a referee's ire. Still within range for a pop if they so choose. Neither Sebastian Cruz nor Jerry Desdune would be shy about this. Three in the wall for Naples. Desdune now is vacating, so it leaves just Sebastian Cruz. And it's a training ground routine that is too heavy for Desdune. So a lot of deliberating and, well, rather insignificant in the end. So far, so good for Mr. Delgado. The one big stop on Alexis Cerritos and then backed up by his defense after Desdune's chance. It's a match that has had a cagey feel to it through 25 minutes. Neither side willing to concentrate or compromise its shape too much. Here's Cruz, hooks it back for Cerritos. It is well beyond the goal mouth. Here's Henderlong. As you see Matt pulling on your screen, the leader of FC Naples. What a job he's done. We've mentioned someone who's probably in the Coach of the Year race at this stage. Someone runs this down. Down to the edge of the area, long range hit. Pops up awkwardly for Aviles, who reacts in kind. That's the turf. Those are the awkward bounces it can offer. This is an audacious effort. It looks like Fernandez is the one who takes it. Well, credit to Aviles, saw it the whole way and adjusted himself appropriately for it. On the subject of Matt Pullen, spoke to him this week. He mentioned to me that the biggest thing he's told his team ahead of this closing stretch was a story about, we'll get back to it in a minute. This is Henderlong. He's talking about a story about a famous Olympic runner in the 1968 Games, John Stephen Akwari, who was running the race, one of the races, and he was injured during it. It was a marathon, and understandably, due to the injury, was well behind the rest of the finishers. And while they were doing the podium and honoring some of the athletes who took part, Onan snatches this back. A glaring chance for Naples, and it's buried. Jaden Onan back in the 11 and back on the score sheet. Naples 1, Alta 0. Fifth consecutive match in the 11 after a prolonged absence, and Jaden Onan popping up again for Naples. A second goal in the last 3 games, and he just pounces on this. Awkward knocking it around the back from Alta, and all Onan has to do is run into the free space and slot it home. Well, those are the mistakes Brian Claben was lamenting defensively. A lackadaisical back pass, one that doesn't reach Kaloyan Pelivanov, and Jaden Onan makes them pay in the dearest of fashions. Naples with a 1-0 advantage. And it is the Ugandan international who strikes just shy of 30 minutes in. Jaden Oden, a native Englishman from Tottenham, known for all of the prominent academies he played in, be it at Reading, Sheffield Wednesday, or beyond. Someone who even featured for Arsenal back in the day. Has been a League One star for quite some time. Did undergo a rockier campaign after being nominated for Young Player of the Year in 2023 with Lexington last year. But this season, a return to form, goal 6 in league play. And Naples in line to claim 3 points and a playoff berth as things stand. Desdoon is hoping to counteract that. Mariona. This is Steven Ramos, and suddenly, AV Alta must come out of its shell. Have not necessarily been at their best through 30 minutes. Haven't truly been able to impose their desired tempo or style of play on things. And after they try to spread it from one flank to the other, an errant aerial ball intercepted by Oden, and he pounces like the true final third menace he is. Cerritos on the turn. Looking to carve out space. Nearly ran through to Ramos, and it's solid defensive tracking from Farine. Well, back to the subject of what we were discussing before the goal. Matt Poland told the story of John Stephen Akwari, who got injured during the marathon at the 1968 Mexico Olympic Games. And while they were honoring all the medalists, he finished the race, and they asked him after the fact what the story was, because obviously he was well behind the rest of the pack, and why he continued finishing the race despite being clearly injured. And his response was, "My country didn't send me to start the race, they sent me to finish." And the message that Matt Poland has taken from that with his team is, it is now about how you finish the season. You owe it to the fans and everyone else to perform at maximum level when it matters most. And as they fight for a home playoff match, that seems rather apropos given the circumstances. So you see Heckenberg is down and slow to return to his feet. Crunching challenge from behind by Cerritos. What a job he's doing. And he's disrupted Alta through 30 minutes. His expression unchanged, though. He understands that this is a 90-minute effort against a side that is unrelenting in AV Alta. Team with the highest average possession in the league, north of 60%. We've already spoken about how during this winless run, their average possession has actually risen in that span. The issue isn't their ability to control matches. The issue has been mistakes at key moments. There was one already here, which has led to Naples' opener. O'Connor arcing this towards Henderlong. Nearly ran all the way through, and Aviles collects. There's another loose back pass. Al-Hassan taking the brunt of the contact from O'Connor, and the latter is the man who's penalized for his trouble. Well, Fan Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Inside the final 15 minutes of this first half, and FC Naples leads 1-0 in the third and final clash of the year between themselves and AV Alta. Jaden Onan popping up on the score sheet on 27 minutes after a rather loose aerial ball never reached Kaloyan Pelivanov. Onan getting in the way of things and forcing Alta to pay the dearest of prices. Not necessarily been an AV side that has looked its best through 30. Avila's under pressure. Maybe space for AV Alta to build. Ortiz. Now Cruz. His influence muted in the opening stages. Neither winger of the California club has been able to get going. Meanwhile, Naples has stretched the flanks with regularity. Cisneros is muscled off it by Alassane. Lay, the Panamanian midfielder. Alta Ramos. Desdune, a player that Brian Klaben has labeled one of the most talented players in USL League One. Some of the moments he has provided, the flair has been spectacular from the Haitian international. Inside the final 10 of this first half, and what is on the cards for us here? Cruz dancing inside, has a hit off the bar, still loose and cleared away. A slight touch from Lalo Delgado does the job, and another close call for AV Alta. This is a lovely pop from Sebastian Cruz, cutting in on his left foot. Gets this cleanly too, but Delgado with his outstretched hand able to palm it onto his crossbar. That is all they needed. Now Desdune is fouled. Now two occasions where Brian Klaben can go into halftime thinking probably should be at least level. A double chance that came moments before Naples' opener, and then this opportunity. As you see here, Desdune just upended. And this is definitely within direct free kick range. And after ceding the last free kick, I think you can expect him to be the man to take. Five-man wall for Naples and Farine in the vicinity. Desdune, and it's off the wall. It is tough to get it up and down from that angle. And it's another corner for AV Alta, just their second of the night. Another crack at the corner flag from Jerry Desdune. Within swing to the back post, headed away, only as far as Sebastian Cruz. We'll let it run out of play for yet another corner. Oddly enough, no corners just yet for FC Naples. All three have gone the way of AV Alta thus far. We'll see if third time could be the charm. An outswinger, flashing it to the back stick. Pajaro back across. Right out to Ortiz. still has yet to put his fingerprints on this. Desdune again. Another cross in towards Pajaro. And overzealous in his attempts to head it goalward. Instead, a direct collision with what appears to be Gustavo Fernandez. It's a good ball here, right into the quarter of uncertainty. And Fernandez taking the head right into the back of his head. He appears content to try to walk this off. A reminder, this Naples squad already thin at center back because Jake Dengler suspended after being sent off with a second yellow card in the final 10 minutes of the Portland match last week. Rodolfo Zulia is probably the only direct replacement they could bring in this circumstance if Fernandez is not set to continue. Well, fans, this stoppage gives us a chance to remind you that FC Naples has only 2 home games remaining in the playoff push, and the next one is Saturday, October 18th against Spokane Velocity. Get your tickets now before they run out. Final 5 minutes of this first half, and it is still Jaden Onan's 27th minute strike, which makes the difference. A Naples squad that has dodged 2 major waves of chances from AV Alta, that outside of that has kept the lid on their ball dominance, have more than held their own from a final third possession standpoint. And the Onan chance was clear cut, and he took it rather confidently. This is headed towards Farine. Awaiting reinforcements. O'Connor, plenty of space to head, and just drags it wide. It is these little half chances that are definitely threatening. O'Connor has clear space to hit this and trying to pick out that bottom right. Too far wide of Aviles's net though. An AV Alta squad that has been through its ebbs and flows this season. The up and down start, then the 9-match unbeaten run in league play from early May to early July. Have not won a league match since July 5th, and this 11-match winless run has unfortunately defined the second half of their season. A team that has fallen from as high as second in the table by mid-July to now 9th. Which is the lowest they've been since the start of that unbeaten run earlier in the year. Frank Clavin has still expressed optimism with us this week. He says that especially this week in training, his lads have responded well. There's still considerable amounts of fight left in that dressing room. They are not going to go down without giving it their utmost, but thus far their utmost has not been enough. Naples has been up for it. That is with Carson Henderlong being a mere pedestrian for the bulk of this first half. Having issues building out for Naples. Henderlong on the turn. Second in the league in goals. Just behind JC Obregon in the Golden Boot race with 12 to his name. in a slight drought by his standards. Hasn't scored in the last two after a hot stretch in late August and early September. But on the counter and in the air, he is always a threat. This is Farine. Just has his pocket picked by Ramos. Heckenberg. Glasser. The more unheralded members of this squad. O'Connor curls it beyond Torres and right to Aviles. Look at the numbers. AV Alta only slightly behind FC Naples in expected goals, both below 0.5. Jane Anonin taking the lone major chance of note for the host thus far. And he is the difference maker to date. Mariona, Filipino international. Final minute of this first half before all eyes turn to our fourth official. Naples has done an excellent job taking the sting out of things. Two major chances for AV Alta. Paulo Delgado and his defenders equal to both thus far. Henderlong finally gets a rare touch of it and has to come deep to claim it. Here's the verdict. 5 minutes of added time.
45 minutes of
stoppage time presented by Tide Cleaners, and still plenty to play left in this first half.
5 minutes of added time in this first half. Added time presented by Classic Diamond Plumbing.
Cisneros. This is Onan. Henderlong. He's pulled down by Osvaldo Ley. Always seem to have a body or two on Carson Henderlong, and you can't blame him. Osvaldo Ley and Mubumu Alassane are the primary markers of things. Be interesting to see how Pelivanov and Paro cope with that, because Pelivanov already on a yellow card, and Henderlong quite wily for his size. Heckenberg arcs this in. Flicked along into a dangerous area. Falls for O'Connor, and it's in! A fortunate deflection, but Naples won't care. 2-0. Kevin O'Connor pouncing on the edge of the area, and FC Naples doubles their advantage. Set pieces, it's what Naples is best at. A flick on header, nearly fell kindly, and then it did for O'Connor. Definitely takes an awkward deflection. The question is it off the turf or off an Alta player? Either way, it's 2 in favor of Naples. It's this awkward hop. It looks to be off of Osvaldo Ley. Either way, the ball was always destined to go goalward. And Kevin O'Connor with his first league goal of the season for FC Naples. The Irishman joining from Cork City after a near 2-year hiatus from professional football. And what an opportunity it has been for him at Naples, carving out the regular starting role in the heart of midfield. Someone who Matt Pullen said he invited to an open tryout in the winter, and Kevin O'Connor never lost the ball. That's the first thing that stuck out to him. A clean midfielder who's added some scoring punch, both off set pieces as a corner taker, as well as an option to head the ball. And here he just awaits on the outskirts of the penalty area and leathers it goalward, and that is what provides a second for the hosts. You look at his quality, it speaks for itself. 13 appearances in UEFA Europa League qualifiers, has played in the Championship as well as EFL League One in England. He's that level of experience, which has proven invaluable for Naples' midfield thus far. And AV Alta in a real dangerous territory right now. Desdoon floats this in, and right at Delgado. Well, if not for his two major involvements, you wonder where Naples would be right now. Remember before Onan's opener, there was a double chance for AV Alta. An effort that was saved by Delgado, and then a second that was cleared off the goal line by Cisneros. And then at 1-0, made a full extension save off the crossbar to deny Sebastian Cruz. Here's Cisneros' cross in. It's cut out by Pelivanov. Falls again. And we're looking for O'Connor. Onan. And this is Henderlong. Back for Jaden Onan. Deflected away. And Cerritos can alleviate the pressure in the final minute of added time. The yellow is shown to Chris Heckenberg.
A yellow card has been issued to FC Naples.
So that's something to watch.
Jaden Onan. This yellow card brought to you
A valuable deep-lying midfield presence in Heckenberg. Was in the midst of things. Onan, I believe, is the one who committed the challenge and has been yellow carded, actually. So the goal scorer in the book. The first Naples man to see his name taken by a referee. We are beyond the added 5 minutes, and FC Naples 2 to the good as they hunt their first ever victory and a playoff berth in one fell swoop. First ever victory over Alta, I should say. There's the halftime whistle. FC Naples disrupting AV Alta and taking their two major chances. They lead 2-0 courtesy of goals from Jaden Onan and that man Kevin O'Connor in first half stoppage time. A strong performance from the hosts as they are 2 to the good at intermission. If they see this out, FC Naples will clinch a playoff berth and keep themselves active in the race for a home playoff match. At halftime, our scoreline reads FC Naples 2, AV Alta 0. Dominant for Naples in the final third. Plenty of work for Alta to do if they hope to kickstart their dwindling playoff hopes. Stick with us when we return, the halftime show from Naples. Once again to the near post, and it's Henderlong again. He is a set-piece madman.
More tables, more entertainment, more slots, more fun. More than you expected. There's more in paradise at Seminole Casino Hotel, Immokalee.
welcome you back to Naples, where our scoreline at halftime reads FC Naples 2, AV Alta 0. Halftime presented by Physicians Regional Healthcare System. Well, after that strong first half, it's time to check in with Matt Poland on this week's edition of the Extra Time Podcast.
And welcome into Extra Time, a weekly video podcast with Fox 4 and FC Naples, where we take you behind the scenes every week for the first season of professional soccer here in Southwest Florida. You could say this is a little bit of a revenge week. AV Alta, it's almost been the nemesis for FC Naples all year. Their first match was delayed because of travel issues. Then they had that pretty bad beating 4-1. But since then, FC Naples has turned their season around completely. Now they are in the driver's seat with that final playoff push. Hey, let's get started. Here's the gaffa. Clearly, you guys figured something out, with that loss.
Sports are highs and lows. Growth isn't linear. And so it's really how do you respond to either a positive or a negative. Obviously, after that game in the locker room, we had a chat as a group, and you saw the response over the next 85 days without losing a league game. So something incredible. And the fact that we've had two different 10-game or 10-plus game streaks without losing is something incredible, especially in the first year. So now it's okay. Again, we have some adversity from last week, and how do we respond to it? And it's the same with the game. Everything isn't always going to go your way. So it's how quickly can you get out when it's going down, and how quickly or how long can you maintain when it's going well.
We've got 5 matches left, 3 more home matches. So this weekend, and then the final 2 matches of the year are going to be at home as well. So fans have plenty of chances to get out. But with these 5 matches left, because you're in a good spot for the playoffs, do you anticipate any, are you anticipating a chess match here? Do you think there's going to be maybe a match where you're going to rest some guys? Or do you think you're do you like where you're at right now? Or you just want to keep the foot on the gas?
Yeah, there's always a balance between that, right, of keeping momentum and then also getting guys rest over the course of such a long season. I think that we'll see. We'll play it by ear. We'll see where we are in the table, where the opponents are, what the point differential, all of those things come into play later in the season. Right now, we still haven't secured playoffs, so the most important thing is still collecting points until we finally officially can secure playoffs.
Yeah, and I probably in a few more podcasts we'll have to actually start going through the actual rules of the playoffs and all of that. But let's get there first, right?
Absolutely. Focus on the next thing in our control first and foremost.
Join us every week on Extra Time.
Hartford Athletic gets to the Jägermeister Cup final. Sacramento sweep the penalties. Sac Republic make another indomitable run to a cup final.
Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a loan off take a loan for free.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Get double points this fall at Best Western.
Zamong finds the corner. He ties it up. Line through Cicerone. What a banger. Oh, good night.
Hey, same shirt.
Is it?
Well, yours is new, obviously.
It only looks new. That's because he takes it to Tide Cleaners, where we keep clothes looking newer 50% longer. At Tide Cleaners, we care about your clothes as much as you do.
How's it look?
Newer 50% longer.
Awesome.
Hey, same order.
Head to my.tidecleaners.com to get started.
We welcome you back to Naples, where our scoreline at halftime reads FC Naples 2, AV Alta 0. Halftime is brought to you by Physicians Regional Healthcare System. Care for every goal. It's now time to get a look around USL League One. Starting with our standout news and notes of the week, we have brought in a strategic growth investment partner from Bell Tower Partners. And then as you head further down, Gio Reyna investing in a future expansion club in Fort Lauderdale United. And then finally, Tormenta FC. Then interim manager Mark McKeever has secured the full-time job after a 5-1-1 start. He has catapulted them back into the playoff chase. And when you look around the league right now, scoreline-wise, a few standout results that at least garner our attention right now. When you look at the scores at the moment, now AV Alta with plenty of work to do if they hope to provide new life for their playoff hopes at the tail end of the campaign. Right now, FC Naples in line to clinch a playoff berth. Stick with us. First half highlights and stats, as well as kickoff for the second, is next.
The more you explore Florida's Paradise Coast, the more it becomes clear. With 30 miles of soft white sands, all is beachy in paradise. With endless outdoor adventures waiting for you, all is exciting in paradise. And with award-winning restaurants eager to wow you, all is delicious in paradise. So plan your visit soon, because if you want a getaway where all is perfect, only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades.
Luxury isn't just about where you live, it's about how you live. At Parker Hudson Homes, we craft bespoke residences where elegance meets effortless comfort. From custom builds to refined remodels, every detail is designed around you, your style, your vision, your way of living. Create a home that's truly yours and discover Parker Hudson Homes today.
More tables, more entertainment, more slots, more fun. More than you expected. There's more in paradise at Seminole Casino Hotel in Immokalee.
Back here at Paradise Coast Sports Complex, we're at halftime, presented by Physicians Regional Healthcare System. FC Naples with a 2-0 lead over AV Alta. Getting a look back at that first half, how about our standout moments? Our first half highlights are here and in, and it was a lot of FC Naples. How about this? An errant back pass from Javier Mariona, and Jaden Onan pounces. The defense parts like the Red Sea, and Onan dispatches it into the bottom right corner. This is a very poor pass, it must be said. And all Onan has to do is finish. That's a training ground finish. He adds his 6th of the year to make it 1-0 in favor of Naples. AV Alta would fire back, though. Sebastian Cruz's effort draws a pretty solid save out of Lalo Delgado, who pumps it onto the crossbar to keep Naples in front. And that proved crucial because then, in first half stoppage time, FC Naples would strike again. This long delivery to the back post. The flick-on header is eventually cleared, but O'Connor hits it first time. It takes an awkward deflection, and Carlos Aviles is unable to keep it out. It was chaos. AV Alta late on closing down O'Connor after the initial effort for Fernandez was denied, and then the deflection is what drew Aviles out. That was the doubler, and that has Naples in the catbird seat. Looking at our first half stats, presented by Arthrex. Does an injury have you benched? Explore orthopedic treatment options at orthopedia.com. Powered by Arthrex. The numbers pretty apparent. Yes, AV Alta does have the possession edge, albeit not as pronounced as many would have thought entering tonight. Both shots stats seem to be leaning in Naples' direction. Yes, both have 4 on target, but Naples with 9 shots to AV Alta's 7. Right now, Naples, you would probably argue, has been the better side. AV Alta looking to turn some of that possession into more clear-cut chances of note. Well, we are just about set to get things back underway from Paradise Coast Sports Complex in Naples, Florida. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action. We spoke about the stakes off the top. 3 points for Naples ensures a playoff berth, and they can do it in front of their home fans. If they can see this out, they take on an AV Alta squad that has not won a match in league play since early July. Right now, AV Alta trying to snap that 11-match winless run. Matt Poland right now has his side in a strong position. He's spoken a lot about finishing strong this season. This would go a long way to doing that. And for Naples, it's not just about clinching a playoff berth, although that obviously is the primary goal. It is about seeding as well as ensuring a home fixture. And right now in the live table, if this holds, they climb to 3rd ahead of Spokane's match later tonight. We are back underway here from Naples. Sam Goldfarb will finish things out with you here. A 2-0 advantage for the hosts, courtesy of Jaden Onan and Kevin O'Connor. Plenty of work to be done if AV Alta is to salvage something in a fixture where they feel like it's a must-win in many regards. 3 changes for AV Alta. One of them is Emmanuel Alaribe. It is wholesale for AV Alta as Brian Clavin desperately seeks a response from his bunch. It is Emmanuel Alaribe, Lalo Blancas, as well as Jimmy Villalobos, all in. 3 players who were starting earlier this year for various reasons, not included in the 11, but they're hoping to rectify things at a crucial point in their season as well as this fixture. Villalobos replacing Osvaldo Ley. Lalo Blancas is in for Steven Ramos. And then Javier Mariona exits for Emmanuel Alaribe. This is knocked loose, and Henderlong in space. It is Carson Henderlong, and the effort deflected behind. By the way, all 3 of those substitutions are presented by Seminole Casino Hotel Immokalee, as FC Naples has its first corner kick of the night, powered by Anderson. Trust your home to Anderson. You see Henderlong pick this up after it's knocked loose, tries for the near post, and Pelivanov does well to track him step for step. What can Naples conjure from their first corner kick of the evening? Their last set piece resulted in their 2nd goal, and a 3rd at this stage would all but eradicate AV Alta's hopes of salvaging anything from this. Hackenberg stands over it. Arcs in with in swing. And right at Carlos Aviles, rather underwhelming. AV Alta has brought in their top scorer in Lalo Blancas, who once again missed last week with injury. But back from the knock and ready to play major minutes. It's emergency time now, and they've brought Blancas back into the fray. This feels like a huge 15 minutes for both clubs. Naples can capitalize on their momentum and grab a third. It would all but put things out of reach effectively. If AV Alta can grab one, nerves will ensue for Naples, and maybe, just maybe, with the possessional edge, they could snatch another. It will be difficult against one of the league's better defenses in an FC Naples that has only conceded 9 goals in the last 11 matches, but if you throw a spanner in the works and make things awkward, you at least give yourself a chance. Cerritos. Villalobos, someone who's played in a more advanced midfield role this year for AV Alta, and his production has benefited from that. A quartet of league tallies to his name. Someone who's been a veteran in this league, spent last year with Ford Madison on loan from One Knox and was the crown jewel of their midfield. Cruz. Best of challenges there, and Desdun may have lost some footwear as well. Well, fans, soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Well, there's not a bad seat in the house in Labara 239 section, and it is packed to the gills once again for FC Naples, their supporters group in full action every time they step on one of the better home pitches in the league. This is a project that has really captivated the community. One of the best home field advantages when it comes to their support. Maybe something brewing here for Naples, and here that Heckenberg just lost that foot race forward. When you think about Naples in general, it is a town with just around 20,000 people. It was an area that lacked a professional sports team, and that was the mission by club president Roberto Moreno, to bring a club to this area. And they bring in Nat Poland, who's based in Marco Island as well, as this is knocked back to Cerritos. Sees that out of play at the near post. Lofted forward, clever back heel from Alaribe. And then Cerritos can't nestle it between Delgado and his near post, but it's better from the visitors here. On the subject of this project, one that was founded in 2024, first ever pro soccer team in the Naples area. They bring in Nat Poland, who, well, he's originally from the Minnesota area. Made his home base for years as a coach in Marco Island, which is not far away. It was funny talking to Matt Poland about their trip up to Portland last week. He said temperatures were a little chillier than he was used to. Said he had to put a coat on at halftime, which for him being from Minnesota is a bit embarrassing. Had a nice laugh with him about that. Says he's gotten rather acclimated to the warm temperatures of Naples, which rarely drop below 70 degrees at any time of the year, let alone around now in late fall. Cruz has Alaribe with him. He's a dynamic goal scorer in his own right. It's a heavy touch from Christian Ortiz. And Farine looking to run free. And he does win the foot race. Has Henderlong with him. And still Andres Farine. Needs for reinforcements, and this is Cisneros. Breck Evans joining the attack from center back. Onan forward for O'Connor. First time cross in. Alisson is there to disrupt. Villalobos. He is a midfield metronome that is so versatile in the center of the park. Well, no metronome will touch that because it was well behind him. It's felt like even though AV Alta's had that edge possessionally, they've been off the pace at times. It's no surprise that Brian Clavin shook things up at intermission, bringing on a more proven number 9 type presence in Alaribe. Away from the false 9, which didn't yield much success. At least in this one, it has in the past. Desdoon. It is important to note, this AV Alta side, no stranger to coming from behind. When you think about some of their performances this year, against Ford Madison, bounced in and out of the lead in that contest in early September. Then the biggest one at Westchester in mid-June. Trailed 2-0, won 5-2, and they were down 2-1 at halftime. So they have a comeback in their locker. Cruz, from Sporting Kansas City Academy man. Now Villalobos. Alisson. Pinging this ahead, out of danger. And Onan floats forward, Henderlong giving chase. Paro handled it well. AV Alta starting to string passes together more confidently. This is Desdoon. Floating it towards Alaribe. And the flick on header is right at Lalo Delgado. You're beginning to see the impact, though, of Alaribe, who isn't necessarily a distinct number 9 presence, but he's probably the closest thing AV Alta has to it. Joining from the Moldovan top flight, where he scored 12 goals in all competitions in his last full season there before adding another 8 in the first half of the 24-25 campaign. Made the move to AV Alta on February 8th after gradually falling out of the squad in the Moldovan Super League. He's played in the Moldovan League for quite some time, as well as the Conference League qualifiers in the past. Villalobos. Here's Cruz. Finds Alaribe. Now to Reyes. We inch towards the hour mark. Naples still 2 to the good. Goals from Jaden Onan in the 27th minute. Kevin O'Connor in first half stoppage time make the difference. FC Naples staring at 12 winless right now. Cerritos. It's broken up by Cisneros. O'Connor. And they're going direct once again. Cisneros is onside, and he darts past Al-Assad. It is still Julian Cisneros who fires towards goal, and what a goal it is! Rude and dynamic. Julian Cisneros makes it 3-0. He haunted AV Alta in mid-July, and he haunts them again in September. Disgusting. Sits down Al-Assad, and then just continues his run until he finds a slight semblance of space. And what placement that is. See ya. And then 2 more for good measure. Naples 3, Alta 0. Julian Cisneros maybe has just put this on ice. And AV Alta making changes as well. Walmer Martinez entering the action, as will Harrison Robledo. Alexis Cerritos is out, as is Kalayan Pelivanov. What a goal that was. And if you are watching the goal of the week race, you'll probably see that one in contention. Julian Cisneros maybe wrapping it up with a sensational solo strike. Julian Cisneros has been one of the revelations in the fold for FC Naples. By the way, all those substitutions presented by Seminole Casino Hotel Immokalee. Someone I spoke about with Matt Pullen this week. And Matt Pullen mentioned that in many regards, when they watched Julian Cisneros on film, they saw all of the raw skills there. It was small things like positioning and timing that they felt that they could work on. And when you talk to Matt Pullen, he says the phrase control the controllables a lot. And he said a lot of the things we could improve with Cisneros were controllables. And over the course of this year, he has developed into one of the better fullbacks in this division and has added some goal-scoring punch as well. Not the primest of examples. Naples leads 3-0, and inside the final 30 minutes, they may have just wrapped it all up. Loyola Chicago product in his first year as a professional. And what a young professional he's turned out to be.
Attention fans, alcoholic beverages will stop being served around the stadium in the 70th minute. You can keep the party going at the Cove.
Hearing word that Naples is readying 2 changes. They lead 3-0, and in many respects, this may be revenge for the drubbing they suffered away from home in late June. Brian Claben's side putting them to the sword in Lancaster the first time they met. You heard it on the Extra Time podcast at halftime. In many ways, AV Alta considered a nemesis just due to the fact that they've been taking points off Naples like a hobby. Well, Naples tonight has scored goals like a hobby. And into the final 30, there is significant work to be done if AV Alta is to get anything from this, and it looks decreasingly likely. With each passing second, have been some bright spells, a couple moments where they nearly forced it over the line in the first half. Those haven't broken their way, and it's been a tough night for Brian Claben's men otherwise. Robledo, his first involvement, switching the play to Cruz. It's back across the face where no one is there to greet it.
Goal kick, FC Naples.
Ian Serro, as well as Dominic Bockstein, are ready to enter for FC Naples in a matter of moments. Jaden Onen will be one of the men to exit as they still work him fully back up to full fitness. And what a productive hour it was for Jaden Onen, opening the floodgates midway through the first half and kickstarting what has been a dominant display in front of goal for the hosts.
Entering for number 10, Jaden Onan. Number 11,
Onan out,
Dominic
as is Farine. A pair of changes on the flanks as Naples goes like for like. Both substitutions are presented by Seminole Casino Hotel Immokalee, more in Paradise. And Jaden Onan getting a loud applause from his young teammate in Boxstein, who only joined the club from Des Moines Menace on August 5th and has seen his role grow progressively with each passing week. His 5th appearance in league play. A 23-year-old who was a first-team All-CAA selection last fall at Drexel after beginning his career in college with LaSalle in the Atlantic 10. Much more productive during his time with the Dragons. This is Zero. It's one back by Christian Ortiz. Well, fans can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, hear live matches from the USL MLS Premier League and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Just beyond the hour mark, and FC Naples has put AV Alta to the sword thus far. Jaden Onan and Kevin O'Connor capitalizing in the first half, and then moments ago Julian Cisneros deleting a trio of defenders for a goal of the week contender that he curled into the bottom right. This is Cruz. Receiving it back from Walmer Martinez, the substitute. It's chested down to Alaribe, and the effort's off the bar from Blancas. Still knocked about, and Max Glasser's intervention does the job. And not the second time AV Alta's hit the woodwork this match. And on a different night, they could have 2 to 3 efforts that wound up beyond Lolo Delgado themselves. It's a lovely first-time hit from Blancas, the substitute. And then Alaribe just can't tower above his defender. Ortiz. Remember, Lalo Blancas has been a problem for Naples in the past. A hat trick the first time they met in late June, including a wonderful free kick to cap the trio of tallies. Became the first man in AV Alta history to procure a hat trick. Also had 2 goals and an assist a few weeks back in the 3-3 draw with Forward Madison. Easily could have had a hat trick to wrap it up as well. That was one of the matches of the season in early September. Boxstein loses out here. Now Villalobos. Martinez inside to Cruz, cuts it across. Cut out before he can reach Alaribe. Decent chance here. You see Cruz on the underlap. This is the speed and direction with which Brian Klaben wants them to build. And it's the center back pairing, which does just enough to keep it away from Alaribe's feet. Now Boxstein. And room for Serra on the far side. He does catch up to it. Numbers in the box as well. His cross towards Henderlong. Bumu Alassane does just enough, and a corner on the way for Naples.
Corner kick for FC Naples, brought to you by Anderson. Trust your home to Anderson.
Well, that corner kick that is now upcoming is presented by Anderson. Trust your home to Anderson. Just Naples is second so far. Kevin O'Connor, the designated corner taker, back at it again. And look out for Henderlong in scenarios like these. Toward the back post. It's punched before it can reach Breck Evans. Cruz looking to counter. Loses out. This is Torres. Marks it wide for O'Connor. 0. Just about cleared by AV Alta. When you look at the implications of a result like this, would leave AV Alta 3 points shy of the playoff line, because as things stand, Tormenta in the lead. So that would leave Charlotte in 8th. And speaking of sides that have struggled considerably the last couple months, Charlotte Independence in a prolonged winless rut before last week and then suffering defeat last night. Henderlong should be another corner for Naples, and it is. Well, as always, corner kicks presented by Anderson. Trust your home to Anderson. Two in the vicinity. Looks like Chris Heckenberg will be the one to take, with O'Connor lingering. We inch towards the final 20 minutes, and it seems all but delivered. Taken short to O'Connor. Hooked in again. Fernandez got his head to it and headed just wide. Training ground routine. Matt Poland pulling out all of the stops here. Aviles rooted, but that doesn't trouble him at all. Well, in some regards, you do have to feel for Aviles. The Cisneros goal was far from savable, especially considering the number of bodies probably screening his vision. And then the awkward deflection on O'Connor's as well. He was put in 3 very difficult positions. AV Alta the other way. 2 major chances in which they very well could have scored themselves. Just haven't broken their way. After last week, falling 3-0 to Tormenta in a match where they were the protagonists for sure and just got unlocked 3 times in the second half. It feels like a familiar and unwanted match script again for Brian Claben's bunch. Called last week frustrating. Said that he didn't feel it was a 3-0 match on paper. May have similar sentiments about tonight, despite Naples being far more devastating where it's mattered most. Al-Hassan. Lost in all of this is Naples has scored 3 goals with Carson Henderlong maybe having 3 penalty area touches, and that may be generous. This given away to Boxstein by Aviles. And Naples will opt to recycle here. Fans, eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Inside the final 20 here in Naples, and it is a commanding advantage for FC Naples as Boxstein is now kicked on the edge of the area. They call a high boot against AV Alta here. Al-Hassan definitely put the boot high. I don't know if it made true contact with Boxstein. This is well within a danger zone for Naples. Keep your eye on Henderlong to put it in the quarter of uncertainty. They do a training ground routine where they'll often lay it off to him or when Onan's on the pitch, Onan as well. It is laid off to Henderlong. Effort comes off the wall. Keep your eye on a potential long throw here, because this is a trend in world football and Naples has the bodies to make it work. Well, they go short here and instead settle for a corner. There's a question over whether the absence of Dangler would hamper their set-piece attack. I don't think it has done. I've gotten one goal as a byproduct of a set-piece already. And we have another corner kick presented by Anderson. Trust your home to Anderson. Heckenberg once again. And this time delivers it in. Back post, headed on by Fernandez. Nearly found Boxstein. Torres. Naples continues to push on in search of a fourth. Serral. And Torres is offside. Quality service here. Comes all the way to the back stick. Headed back across by Fernandez and mere inches away from that right boot of Boxstein, who still hunts that first professional goal. With many teams up 3-0, you'd think they'd maybe sit back and try to absorb pressure, but Naples continues to throw numbers forward and disrupt AV Alta's build-up game. Robledo, former FC Cincinnati Academy product. And a Pajaro. Errant ball that finds the feet of Hackenberg. Henderlong. Pajaro reads it to perfection. Referee waves play on. Desdune looking to switch the play to Cruz. Fights for it, goes down in the area, and the referee's blown the whistle, and it is against AV Alta. Cruz in desperate pursuit of a penalty. That does not come his way. It's a good ball, this. Has inside position on O'Connor. And I tell you what, on a different night, maybe that decision goes against Kevin O'Connor, but it's a slight tug from Cruz, which maybe brings him down, as a yellow card has just been shown to Gustavo Fernandez of FC Naples. Martinez loses his footing. Here's O'Connor, floating ahead, beyond Henderlong, runs all the way through to Ian Serro! Oh, what a strike! It is a rout in Naples, 4-0! FC Naples will clinch a playoff berth in style. Ian Serro adds another goal to the goal party. The switch of the play beyond Henderlong falls so nicely for Serro, who lashes it into the top left. This is an evisceration in Naples. No chance for Aviles, perfectly placed, and Ian Serro adds a second league goal of the year. Someone who Matt Pullen knows so well for his time in Nisa with Georgia Lions. Played against Matt Pullen when he coached Chicago House. Also played for Matt Pullen with Chicago House in 2021. Matt Pullen has brought him in, and what an impact he's proven to be as a fringe starter all year long. A second league goal of the year, and Naples is cruising now. Well, if anyone expected this to be a narrowly contested affair, I think you'll be massively surprised by this.
Ian Serro. goal.
FC Naples taking all 4 of their major chances. And they are cruising at this stage. Boxstein. More numbers for Naples, and they continue to throw them forward. Boxstein with a hit. Maybe got a bit too excited. Well, you continue to see them burst forward. The switch of the play from O'Connor to Serrell, who curled it in so nicely. And now Henderlong. This may be a point of concern for Naples. He's slow to return to his feet. Still approaching the final 10 minutes. And as things stand, FC Naples has returned the favor. Had 4 put past them in Lancaster. Alaribe sees that take an awkward hop off him and right back to Delgado. As it stands, AV Alta will move to 12 winless. A difficult night. It could have unfolded oh so differently had they taken the series of chances in the opening stages. The one effort that was cleared off the line by Cisneros after Delgado's initial save. And then, of course, the chance that rocketed off the crossbar when it was 1-0 to Naples. Since then, though, Naples in full control. Alaribe. Heckenberg cleans up the mess. Only briefly, though. Referee says play on. And out for what should be an AV Alta corner.
Corner kick for AV Alta, brought to you
2 changes
by
coming
Anderson.
for
Trust
FC
your home
Naples
to Anderson.
in a matter of moments. Question is whether they wave on the substitutes now, and they will. Thomas Rittendale entering the action, a relatively new signee for FC Naples a few months back, as well as Luca Perpa joining the fold.
For FC Naples. Entering the game for Max Glasser, number 5.
Glasser
Thomas
exits
Rittendale.
for Rittendale.
And entering the game for number 14, Kevin O'Connor, is number 22.
And Kevin O'Connor exits to a loud applause for Luca Perpa. Both substitutions presented by Seminole Casino Hotel Immokalee, more in paradise. And a corner here for AV Alta as they look to get on the score sheet. Ortiz. Robledo. Ushered wide to Cruz. Tries for goal. And right at Delgado. Tomas Rittendale, just his 3rd appearance of the league season, a native of Miami who joined from Huntsville City, initially joining on a 25-day contract before it was extended through the rest of the year last month. Delgado is a little worse for wear at the moment. Half volley hit here from Ortiz. As Delgado goes down to collect it, seems to deal with an issue to his quad area. He was down for a bit against Portland last week, having that leg bandaged, and
building exceptional homes right here in Naples.
you wonder if he can go on here.
Quality and our community. Visit ParkerHudsonHomes.com to find
Labata
more
239
dream
enjoying everything they've witnessed. Arguably Naples' most dominant performance of the season. Definitely their most clinical, putting 4 past an AV Alta side that committed that act to them in late June in what was a 4-1 defeat. And if you want to watch more USL, the USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Although Delgado still receiving medical attention here, Oxnard, California native, who is in line to produce what would be an 8th league clean sheet of the year. Entered tonight, tied for 3rd in the league in that figure. Just 3 off the league lead entering the night. And as of now, at least trying to play through this. Not much for Delgado to do, but the 2 major tests that have come his way, he's passed, and hearing word that he is going to be taken off. So at least a moment of concern for Naples fans for the remainder of things.
Entering the game for Lalo Delgado.
He'll be replaced. Joel Serrano, who's been the regular backup all season, and the Puerto Rican international, will come in place of Delgado. Matt Poland's talked about in the past how he's been waiting for his opportunity. Here it is, the substitution presented by Seminole Casino Hotel Immokalee, more in Paradise. The 26-year-old who's made just 1 appearance in league play all year was sent off 7 minutes in to the first trip to Portland on May 17th. We'll look to see out a collective clean sheet here in Naples at the tail end of this one. Joel Serrano, 22 caps with the Puerto Rican national team, was on international duty during their June World Cup qualifying window, an unused substitute behind Sebastian Cutler de Jesus in both of those fixtures. Puerto Rico coming just a point shy of qualifying for the final round of CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers. Unfortunately for them, though, Suriname unable to beat El Salvador, and El Salvador claiming that final spot. Blancas, still have yet to see him truly influence things. This is Sebastian Cruz. Looking forward for the run of Villalobos, and it is right to the new goalkeeper, Serrano. Who does not appear off the pace by any means at all. This is an opportunity for him to leave an impression in Matt Poland's mind, especially if Delgado's absence persists next week. While Naples will clinch a playoff berth, still a number of key fixtures as far as seeding is concerned, going to Omaha and Westchester before returning home to take on Spokane and Charlotte to round out their season. And when it comes to the top 4 chase, that's the primary thing now on Naples' mind. After falling to Portland Hearts of Pine, the gap was shrunk to just 4 points between 4th and 5th. Now with Spokane still having yet to play, they kick off in about 7 minutes time. Naples would climb to 3rd, but still 4 points separate them and Portland if Spokane is to win here. Portland, it is important to note, 2 matches in hand on Naples, so winning out, a key point of concern for the hosts throughout the remainder of their campaign. Here's Cerro. Henderlong on the turn. And he's tugged back in the process by what appeared to be Miguel Parro, the AV Alta captain. Well, fans, FC Naples has only 2 home games remaining in the playoff push, and the next one is Saturday, October 18th against Spokane Velocity. Get your tickets now before they run out. This cross comes into Bockstein, turns away from his defender. Can't quite thread it through to Luca Perpa. But an active cameo from the 23-year-old striker. This is Walmer Martinez for AV Alta. Look at AV Alta's upcoming matches. So many key 6-pointers, starting with the key tussle with Texoma away from home on October 4th. That a match in which, in August, they had to overcome a 3-0 deficit to salvage a result. And then taking on Charlotte as well. And when you look at Charlotte's recent form, you'd fancy AV Alta to potentially be in line and get a result. The issue is they're away from home, where they've only won 2 league matches all year. Much better in the confines of Lancaster Municipal Stadium. Ortiz, played forward. Falls to the edge of the area. And our referee stops the play after Blancas was upended, and this is well within his range, the set piece specialist. You see Blancas here, late challenge diving in, and that is a free kick 10 times out of 10, twice on Sundays as well. Blancas has scored the most goals in each 15-minute period of the second half this year. Eight of his 9 goals have come in the second half this season, and many of them have come from free kicks from this exact range. It'll be Joel Serrano's first time getting a look at a Lalo Blancas set piece. Scored 1 in the first meeting against Naples in late June. Wilmer Martinez has also stood in the vicinity, but this likely favors the right boot of Blancas. Blancas drives it towards goal and right into the wall. Unable to replicate the feat he pulled off the first time these teams met. And there's a player down for Naples in the closing stages. Gustavo Fernandez, one of the many in the wall for Naples, and he's the one that took the brunt of the contact. Still trying to shake this off, the former USL League One champion, who may now be substituted. Walking towards the touchline. And he seems content to keep going. Into the final minute of the initial 90. And this feels all wrapped up at this stage for Naples. One of their best wire-to-wire performances of the season, no doubt. Cruz. And only as far as the goalkeeper, Carlos Aviles, as our stoppage time presented by WM is 5 minutes.
Of added time in this
it's presented by Tide Cleaners, excuse me.
Presented by Classic Diamond Plumbing.
Zero. This is Henderlong, who's continued to play through the entirety of the 90. This time loses out for a goal kick. At this stage, the only real thing up for grabs right now is whether or not Naples snags another clean sheet. One of the better defenses in the league, just 27 goals allowed through its first 25 league matches. That was good for 5th in the league entering the night, and if they keep a clean sheet here, it will probably catapult them into the top 4 in that regard. Switch of the play. This is Cruz. One of the brighter bulbs for AV Alta on what otherwise has been a pretty bleak night. Al-Assad. Robledo. Desdune. Taking on Cisneros. Laid off to the edge of the area and right off the bar again. How about this? Chance after chance. This one had plenty of venom to it. Falls so nicely. Looks to be Blancas again. And you can't afford to give him a free runway. Fortunately for Naples, once again, it's just off the woodwork. The third time the visitors have hit the woodwork tonight. Perpop. Tenacious. Plays it forward to Henderlong. Cuts it across. And Torres committing the transgression. When you look at AV Alta's upcoming schedule, we showed you at halftime. Texoma Charlotte, as we've already mentioned, then their only home match against Richmond, which feels like a must win before they round out their campaign at Portland, the hottest team in the league. So, 4 key fixtures. The first 2 are 6-pointers with playoff implications. Richmond at this point appears further and further off the pace. You'd think that 7 points from the next 3 matches would put them in a favorable spot, given the respective forms of both clubs involved. Those will be tough ones to predict. Texoma themselves in the midst of a prolonged rocky stretch. 1 win now in the last 14 after falling 1-0 to Portland tonight. And then Charlotte Independence, they themselves have struggled as well. So it is a somewhat favorable fixture list before having to head to Portland and take on Hearts. A lot for him to think about from week to week here. Their style is clearly defined. They cause teams problems, but tonight it never felt like they truly imposed it on the match. Meanwhile, for Matt Poland, his side has produced arguably their best display of the season in a match that will clinch them a playoff berth. And as they wait for the final 30 seconds of these added 5 minutes, celebration beckons here in Naples. Two goals on either side of halftime. Tomas Rittendale sees the foul called against him. Beyond the added 5 now. Evans clears away, and there's the full-time whistle. FC Naples will be a playoff team in November. They have clinched a berth in the postseason for the first time at the first time of asking. They win 4-0 here against AV Alta, and now the quest is on for a potential home match in the quarterfinals and beyond. It finishes FC Naples 4, AV Alta 0. Revenge achieved as well as they defeat their fellow expansion club for the first time in club history. How about this for Naples? As things stand, they are now 3rd in the table, and it is courtesy of our man of the match presented by Waste Management. WM is driving sustainably. It is Julian Cisneros who provided the play of the match, the big moment that made the difference. And what a goal it was, deleting Mabumu Alassane, sending him directly to the turf and continuing the run forward. Past 2 more defenders before he curled it in the bottom right. That made it 3-0 and sealed the points. This one of the goals of the week, no doubt. Our play of the match is brought to you by Physicians Regional Healthcare System. Care for every goal. We'll step aside. It finishes 4-0 here from Naples. We'll be back with full-time highlights next. Again to the near post, and it's Henderlong again. He is a set-piece madman.
here on Florida's Paradise Coast, you can play your way. Whether you prefer an action-packed court, a leisurely round of golf, or the thrill of watching a professional soccer match, your only challenge is finding a way to do it all. So visit a luxurious playground that scores big for everything from its award-winning beaches to its incredible restaurants. Because when you want a vacation where all is perfect, only Paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades.
We welcome you back to Naples, where FC Naples are decisive winners as they clinch a playoff berth here at home this evening. 4-0 victors over AV Alta. It's now time to look at our standout moments of the match as Matt Pullen celebrates with his squad starting. Victory. It's time for our full-time stats, which are presented by Arthrex. Does an injury have you benched? Explore orthopedic treatment options at orthopedia.com, powered by Arthrex. Yes, AV Alta had 67% of the ball. No, it did not feel like that because of how decisive Naples was in the final third. A 16-12 shots edge, and far better with the 6 shots they put on frame, finding the back of the net with 4 of them in what is one of their better final third performances all season. And what a time for it for FC Naples as they cruised to a dominant 4-0 victory to climb to 3rd in the USL League One table as things stand. Well, that is where things finish. FC Naples dominant victors in 4-0 fashion, defeating AV Alta for the first time in their history and clinching a playoff berth with still 4 matches to play. It is on to compete for home field advantage in the postseason now for Naples. AV Alta with plenty of work to do if they hope to get back into the top 8. For our terrific crew, I'm Sam Goldfarb, saying so long from Naples, where it finishes Naples 4, AV Alta 0. Have a great rest of your night, everyone.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.